have done a lot of studies on the kids of today. And this next generation, I mean, you have a whole book about this, and it's been a big part of your, the millennials, a big part of what you've done in the last couple of years. What are your thoughts on, I mean, are these kids, do we have a problem that needs to be addressed? Are kids ready when they go off to college?
Well, you know, as always, Bill, some are, you know, and some clearly aren't. And that's why you've had an explosion, you know, over the last 30 or 40 years in remedial programs for on college campuses.
Yeah.
Who aren't. The key thing is, you know, obviously, given my field, I believe in metrics and some form of standardized tests. The problem are the metrics that we're trying to measure, which aren't terribly important and don't necessarily reveal what a person's true skills and true potential really are. So I think basically a lot of the testing that's done is irrelevant and very possibly dangerous. You know, ultimately, for individual kids, tracking them into wrong programs for schools, you know, who are forced to teach for these tests, diverting them and diverting teachers away from the real work that they should be doing.
Right.
And what is that? It's, you know, the capacity to work in teams, to solve problems, to see situations and put them in context, to make rapid and good decisions. Those are the sorts of things that we need to be measuring, not the four causes of the Civil War.
Right, right.
In third grade.
Let me ask you another part of strategy, political strategy, if you will. You know what happened in Wisconsin as Scott Walker took out the union. Some believe that that's exactly what this governor is doing. And as this whole opt-out thing has now become a part of NYSET, which is basically the upstate union, the downstate union has stayed, while they're against this, they've stayed neutral on the opt-out issue. But my description of this is, look what happened with the SAFE Act. And you know this, Governor, you've followed him. This is not a guy that backs down. Is Andrew Cuomo in the process of trying to destroy the teachers' union in New York?
Boy, that's you know, that is tough. I guess the short answer to that would be yes, probably. Simply because, you know, on a personal level, this is a very unique politician who doesn't seek love.
Right.
You know, this is a guy who stands his ground and digs in. Secondly, the recognition that there probably can't be much progress in public education until so many of the arcane rules and regulations and the political power of the unions are, you know, at least in some way, you know, stymied. And to his benefit, this is kind of like a Nixon going to China. You know, perhaps a lot easier for a Democrat who himself and his father have always been close to unions to be the person to make this charge than Scott Walker, who, you know, who's clearly doing it mainly for ideological.
Right, right. Certainly going to be interesting, but I would not think that this ends with this. And the opt-out, the entire union opt-out campaign seems to be right in the face of this governor, who, if you ask the SAFE Act people, this is not a guy that tends to bow down.